After I left Ohio, I ended up in Bonnerdale, Arkansas, right near Hot Springs, we'll call it, so southwest Arkansas, and back at the tribe. And I've talked about it some before, but the family is the Tankersley family. They called me here last winter, and they'd purchased a place and had no experience. Kind of watched Yellowstone and liked Lonesome Dove, and so they decided to buy a ranch after they sold a business. And the whole family was in. Their brother-in-law Tim, Luke and Logan are the boys, and their wives were a part of it. Haley and Destiny, and then Robert and Vicky are the owner, the parents. And so they've all been involved in this thing from the start. And from zero experience to good hands is what they've become. And started out, they went to some seminars on grazing, and they went to a Greg Judy seminar, and they really decided they liked that, the regenerative thing he was talking about. They bought some Akaushi cows. They're red Japanese cows, and from Heartland Akaushi. They're in San Antonio, Texas. And so they're full in. They have a beautiful place. They've improved it. They've done some fencing, and so I come along, and I was just going to go help them work cattle for a weekend, and end up staying about 3 months off and on. And so I kind of helped with their grazing system. They already had their ideas, but they've got a beautiful place for a grazing system to work just right. They got a big old lane that goes right down the middle of the place, and we put some new fence in with gates to fit with my style of moving cattle off a paddock, going to a different paddock, moving them, giving them some exercise, checking to see if everything's healthy, bringing them back, put them on. You can put them right next to each other, or you can take them across the road, or you can take them clear up the other end. It was going great. They got into the horses. We started some colts. They got some real nice horses to ride, and they become cowboys real quick. And so it was a real traditional style of place. Set it up where we jingled the horses in every morning, kept a couple of night horses in, went and gathered the horses up. We did a real traditional ranch style, and they really did a great job. When I left there, before I came back this last time, there was so much water. It was green, and there was water in all the creeks, and it was wet and lush, and grass is growing like you can't believe. The calves are doing great, and I was gone about 30, 45 days, come back, and the heat wave had hit. And boy, they had a drought, and it had changed their whole system, and they were trying to do the real tight graze and not move very often and graze one herd, and it was really a good idea, and they were trying hard and working, but the drought, the heat, and everything, it was just really affecting the performance of the cows. And we talked it over and decided that we need to increase the paddocks. We needed to get them moved quicker, and we decided that, you know, here's the thing with regenerative agriculture. What they were trying to do is have a real low-cost system, low-input system, strictly grass. But the cattle they had were kind of a high-input cattle, and it really wasn't fitting. The cows were losing weight, and I don't think the calves were doing as good as they should have. So we all analyzed and talked it over, and changed our idea a little bit, and thought maybe we better put some more inputs in here to make these cows breed. I was really worried about those cows losing weight right when we put the bulls in. They're going to calve later. And then also the calves weren't doing as good as I thought they should be. And you know, they're going to market these calves to Heartland, and you want as much weight and as good a calves as you can get. So we changed things, and that's the whole thing about agriculture. You can start one way, and then Mother Nature might change you, and you got to change to fit what's going to happen. Now next year it's going to be a good year, I hope. Lots of moisture, and they can go right back to the program they were started with. But you always got to take care of your cattle. You got to keep your cattle content, you got to keep them fed, and you got to keep them healthy. And you got to keep your people that are working in these hot, dry, miserable conditions. Everybody's attitude can get pretty rough too, because you're not getting to do what you thought you were going to do and wanted to do. So we had a big time, and it was a great week, and we kind of all reconnected, and they're excited, and they changed things, but they're adapting, and they're going to make it just fine. So the boys, they work hard. Tim, they all work hard at taking care of the animals and making sure they have good feed, and I get to go in there once in a while and just check and see. And you know, I've had a lot of experience. They haven't. And you can read everything on the internet you want and watch everything you want, but until you're on the ground and they're working with the animals, you've got to really decide what's right and what's wrong. And we had to make some changes, but everybody's better for it, and I think the cattle are doing well, and it's going to be a good deal. They're going to learn, and they'll be a strong family. They're the tribe. That's what they call themselves, and tribes are strong, and they'll be fine. So it was the whole month long was a great experience of different types of agriculture. And what I have come to the conclusion of is whatever kind of agriculture you're going to pursue, whether it be the sagebrush sea or the high input of a feed yard and creating your own feed with thousands of dollars equipment, or if you want to go and work like the tribe and Green Acres, you can make it work, but you got to work hard, you got to think, you got to work at it, and you got to work with Mother Nature instead of against her. And that's the great thing about agriculture. I'm real proud to be a part of all this, and the thing that I see with every place I've been to, they're adding to the world. They're not taking away. And when we look at our lives, and we have an energy output, and then we have an energy input of what we create from our work and our efforts. So many times with things that I see that I'm involved with or whatever, we have a lot of entertainment value, we got a lot of things going, and the energy use is high, and there's not much return of energy. It's all taken away from energy. But with agriculture, especially animal agriculture, and working with animals, it's always energy in, but you're getting more energy out. And that's what we've really got to try with all our livestock systems. As we go into the future, with more and more people on this earth, and less creating the food that we eat, we in agriculture have to really make an effort, whether you're regenerative or all in machinery all the way, whatever it is, make sure that your energy going out is higher than the energy that you're creating to produce it. And that's what's real important for us all to do. That'll take us into the future. We'll be proud, and agriculture is going to save the day.